Oh boy, this little cleanup might have gotten out of hand. Hey guys, this is Don with D-Bear Basics, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video today. I was actually cleaning out my tool bag because it was getting kind of ridiculous. I'm actually pretty methodical about putting my tools away in special parts and compartments of my tool bag, but it kind of got away from me the last few months, and I kind of noticed on one job that I couldn't fit everything back in there, and I thought, well, might be time to clean it out, reorganize it, and see what we can do to figure it out. And while I was doing the clean out, I thought, wow, this is a great backpack. I love this tool backpack, and I thought maybe I'd do a little video on it to show some people the merits of having a tool backpack instead of having a normal tool bag or toolbox or even a roll around toolbox. So the one I use, and then sorry about the different angle, I thought this would be a little bit easier, a little bit better to see it instead of like right in front of me like I do some of my coin videos, and better than how I used to do my old videos, where there's kind of like an upward angle where everything was a certain distance away. I thought this would be a good way to allow everybody to kind of see the stuff a little bit better. So this is the Custom Leather Customs backpack I use. I got this about 8 or 9 years ago, I think, actually. I got it for a Christmas present. It was $80 at the time. I will have a link in the description for the what took over this backpack from Custom Leather Customs, Custom Leather Craft. They no longer sell this exact model of bag, but they sell a very, very similar one. I believe the only difference is they have two little side pockets on the front of the backpack here, but otherwise it still has the modular design, two pockets that unzip here to unfold. It has this is actually a like belt clip holder, so if you have like a tape measure, a knife, anything like that that has a little belt clip on the end of it. In fact, let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. If you got something that's got a clip like that, you can put it right on here and it'll stay on. I'll admit, because I kind of throw this thing around, I don't usually put anything on this. I used to have a tape measure on it, and the clip got bent kind of bad once. Granted, it was a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh model, so it probably wasn't the best quality clip. This is just a Stanley, which is probably a little bit better. But that's what this is technically made for. I do like it. It's kind of a nice touch, and it does give you a little extra space outside so that we can fit more stuff inside the backpack. So let me, since I went ahead and kind of talked a little bit about the outside of it, let me just go ahead and finish that up. The front here, we do have a storage pocket. I usually keep kind of like small material stuff in there, like electric tape. I carry a chalk line in there, sometimes a charger, depending on what I need. The front pocket here, I really don't love, and this is going to be really hard for you guys to see. Let me see if I can get my flashlight that's not hung up here to work, actually. And we'll see if I can't shine some light on that pocket so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's not a super great storage pocket. Gosh, I wish this was easier for you guys to see. It's got a net lining to it, and it's got a zipper part, or it's got an extra pocket in there. You can actually see let me see if I can focus on that. Oh, well, there it is. There's a drill bit I forgot to take out that was in there. So obviously it does hold things. I'll admit I don't necessarily utilize it as much as I should. I've mainly used it for Bluetooth speakers, chargers, small stuff. Sometimes if I have extra material on the job, like a small spool of wire or something, and I don't feel like carrying it with a hand, I'll throw that in there. But otherwise, that's pretty much what I use for this front pocket and this pocket here. It also came with this little carabiner. You can see I've never actually removed it because it came zip tied to the bag. I guess a nice thing to do, but I could clip something to it. I just never have. So, possible ideas in the comments if you got anything I should stick on there. It does have these buckles to it, which do allow you to get a little bit more in there. I will say again, you can probably tell by how like clean that all is when I shine the light in there that I don't use it much, because the rest of this backpack is disgusting, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to clean it out. So on the other side, so on the first side we had the clip for like a tape measure. On the other side there are some small little compartments here. I used to keep a utility blade in here, and then a marker, actually a couple markers in here. However, I had kind of noticed that if I wasn't careful, again, because I was throwing this thing around too much, that those things would slip out. So now I usually keep like I'll be straight with you guys. I usually keep a grinder wrench actually in one of these just because it fits pretty tight, so it's not really going anywhere no matter how much I shake this thing or whatever. Just because it honestly probably wasn't made for that, but because it's so tight in there, it doesn't go anywhere. So that is pretty much the outside. When it comes to like the, I guess, storage features, comfort features, the straps on this thing are very heavy duty and they're also very comfortable. They've got a mesh inliner in them, so they're very, I don't want to say thick, but they're definitely sturdier than like a normal backpack strap. They're like double sewn in on the bottom here. I had another backpack with obviously very similar design to this, but it was only like $30, and if I put more than 30 pounds in it, the straps just straight came off. And I worked with like only one strap for about 3 months because I had to save up money to get some other tools. But they're triple sewn in. I have not seen any wear and tear issues from this, which has been great. And it's got two strap holds here, so if you need to use both hands or really just need an extra grip on it, it's awesome. These things are also, I'm going to see if I can get that double sewn in so that way they don't go anywhere either. It's just a very, very, very sturdy backpack. On the bottom, it's got rubber hits to it with kind of like it's probably cardboard or something in there, some sort of like semi-hard surface that's slightly malleable, just that way it sits flat most of the time and doesn't really get damaged by anything too crazy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, I'll kind of put it on real quick. Like most backpacks, and I'm not saying like, I guess I'm not saying like this is useless, but I don't use it too much, but it does have the chest strap. So if you're really loaded down with some heavy weight, you know, this thing will help spread the weight across your whole body versus just your shoulders. I'll be honest, I have used this a few times, but because I've used it a decent amount of times, when my backpack was way too heavy, you can kind of, well, let me show it to you. It's not broken. I don't want to say it's broken because it's not, but, oh, you know what? Maybe it is. You guys probably won't be able to see that, but the plastic piece that holds, let me see if I can get a little bit closer. The plastic piece that holds this in, I don't know if you can kind of see that from your angle, is the strap part is coming out the bottom. So it holds okay, but I don't depend on it. You know, I don't trust it. I probably could just get a new clip for it, but like I said, I really didn't use it enough. So probably not gonna do that. So that's basically everything on the outside. It's a very comfortable backpack to wear. I've had this thing loaded with many tools, some power tools, plenty of hand tools, some material, and while it has been heavy many times, I do hike a little bit I've never exactly weighed it to like exact grams or ounces or anything, but I have had 30-pound packs before, and I will say this thing has at least felt 35 pounds, maybe even 40, just because of all the tools I've had in here. And it's not easy to carry, don't get me wrong, but it's not impossible, and it feels very good on my back. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and open up the front pocket here. Now, you can kind of see here, I love this. It's so modular. I mean, you've got all these hand tools, pockets here for whatever you need. For the longest time, I was keeping some drill batteries in these pockets. I was keeping pliers and channel locks in these. And then utility knife, screwdriver, socket wrench, normal wrench, pens, markers, screwdrivers, crowbars, whatever I had in there. And then there's still, and I'm going to try and do this the best I can, but there's still this like little space here. I usually end up like throwing screws. In fact, look at that, there's one right there. Down into this little spot here, because there is just a decent amount of space for it. Now, on the front part here, and I'm sorry the light's kind of not really agreeing with me too much on this angle, but I thought it'd be better than the other way. There's two pockets on the bottom here. Those are Velcro. I didn't really use them for anything, just because I had the other side so stuffed with tools and such that it just kind of was too fat to really fit anything in there. However, this spot here, this like zippered mesh pocket, I kept Unibits, or otherwise known as step bits, depending on what your vernacular is. I've kept extra utility blades in here. I keep my SharkBite tools in here because I never want to lose those because they're small little plastic tools. I'll show you them later. And just other small stuff like that. Nothing crazy. No chargers, no screwdrivers, no actual tools really. but like you could fit some small stuff in here. If you had some small screwdrivers, maybe some Schrader valve tools, small stuff like that. I've always just kept little stuff in there, but I like it because I know exactly where it is when I need those little tiny tools or material pieces for very, very particular jobs, because you don't want to lose them. And then these straps here, if I remember correctly, advertised, I think they had like a, I want to say they had like a drill or some other sort of small power tool up in this thing. I use it to hold my Sawzall container, like my Sawzall blade container. And sometimes I've used it to hold like my drill bit cases as well. The elastic's fine. They're still pretty stretchy. But I guess in a way I've never actually maybe loaded it for its intended weighted purpose. So maybe that's why they're still in pretty good shape after so long. But that's just one of the sides. What I like about this pack is that it does have these both sides. And there's just, I mean, like I said, what I'm telling you here is just what I have this thing custom made for. This thing's so modular. It's so great that, you know, if you were a journeyman or, you know, kind of a, I don't want to say handyman, but if you were someone who kind of knew how to do a little bit of it all, you could just separate out each section for a different type of job, really. For a long time, I had like just general tool stuff in this side and then HVAC tools in the back. For a little while, I had power tools in the back here, small drills. I don't know. I guess I didn't really have a lot of different power tools. Couple different drills. You guys have seen some of my drills on my channel. Most of them are 12 volts or even smaller. I've kind of thrown them in here with their chargers and batteries. I've kind of kept that in the back, and some special tools, and then main hand tools and stuff up front, just because it was an easy system to keep them all organized. But without getting too much crazier, let's go ahead and we'll close the first one up. And that is one thing I forgot to mention about the outside. On the bottom here, and you can kind of see it better here, they got these little pull tabs, which if this thing is loaded up and heavy, and it's kind of hard to do it with you guys watching because I got to hold it up with the one hand, but I'll just use my teeth. You can hold it down with one hand and zip it up with the other hand, or your teeth, or whatever you got available to you. It's the best part about being a jack of all trades, right? Now, the back pocket, I'll kind of open this up. It's very similar, especially up top. It's just got, again, more of these individual sections for hand tools, screwdrivers. I have like a mini saw here, and then it's got the three like slightly bigger compartments. However, you can see this one's like divided up more, and it might be kind of hard to see in the slide. I'm really sorry, so I'll do my best to point them out. A bunch of stuff fell out. It's got these compartments here, these three slightly small, like thinner compartments. It's got three more compartments under that, and then it's got all of this. There's a bunch of dust in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's all really gross. Probably need to take a vacuum cleaner to this thing, honestly. But back to what I was saying. After that, it's got all these little, I don't want to say custom again, but like tiny little pockets for certain tools. Like I usually keep like socket wrench attachments or center punches, markers, and then these little things. They're kind of deceiving because it looks like they look like they're supposed to go like right through like an elastic thing that you could like hook a pen to, but they are sewn. I don't know if you can see it from where you guys are. Yeah, a little bit. You see that line right there? That's the sew line. So it does, there is a bottom to it, and I'll admit I kind of don't know what the designers thought people were gonna put there. I mean, I guess I could see like doing some small clip stuff, but I kind of thought it'd be a lot nicer if the bottom wasn't sewn in, so you could just put like some stuff with like a belt clip there, kind of like they did on the side. Again, you can see we've got this like big space area, like the little floor area. That's why I've got so much dirt and grime on mine, because I end up, this is the pocket I kind of throw extra stuff in. Like if there's like, I don't know, 6 inches of wire lying on a job and I'm trying to clean up the trash, I'll throw some trash in here. Or I'll throw a couple of these like little washers from Knockouts and like whips and stuff in here. I've got parts of doorknob kits, I guess. Some from older houses, old screws that are stripped out and I probably thought I would have for scrapping. And you know what? I think this might be actually an aluminum screw, which is probably why I thought I'd grab it for scrapping. But that's this side. Now, the other side of the pocket here, I'm going to do this as best I can without dropping a bunch of dirt on myself, is very bare. if I remember correctly, this was definitely advertised as having power tools on the side. I think one of the commercials or photos I saw actually had like a small. There's no way. I feel like I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm misremembering this, but I almost feel positive that they had like a small handsaw. And when I say handsaw, I mean like a power saw, like a Sawzall, or even like a small circular saw. Something was in this elastic strap and it was huge. And I thought, wow, there's no way I'm ever going to use it for that purpose, but whatever. Again, best thing about this bag, you can make it as modular as you want. There's a big elastic strap here with Velcro that you can hook. I think for a while I had one of my 18-volt drills hooked to it. And then there's a slightly smaller one here that I think I had. Definitely didn't have my charger hooked in. Maybe, okay, I think I might have flip-flopped it. I think this had my drill, because, you know, the drill's got, like, the trigger handle part. In fact, we got a drill back here. Let me see if I can grab it without making too much of a mess. Nope, drop some glue. Whoops. But, like, I think I had my drill in this little section here. See if I can open it up again. I don't use this drill that much anymore. The motor kind of burned out on me, so I just kind of use it for basic stuff now. But I had the drill like this, and then the charger over here. There is also, and I know it's kind of hard to see because it's all black, but there's a clip here, and I'll admit, I don't know what it's for. They had nothing on it on the initial photos I saw of this backpack, and I don't think they knew it existed even, perhaps, until I got the backpack and saw it. So perhaps, I guess if you had your charger over here, you could wrap the electrical cord around this so it didn't get tangled. Possible thing I might do, but again, like I said, I really don't keep power tools in here anymore because I kind of ended up just filling this full of all of my different hand tools and just had tool bags from, like, I use Ryobi and Rigid drills. You guys have seen that, and all those tool sets came with bags, so I just kind of use those bags so I can keep all that stuff together. However, that doesn't mean if I know what I'm getting into on a job and I know I just need like a normal 3/8 chuck drill for, I don't know, like let's say I'm putting together cabinets or something and I need to be able to put the cabinet doors on and I want to do it quicker than with a screwdriver. Sure, I'll throw a drill and a battery in here. I probably won't even throw in the charger because if I'm just doing like cabinets, I technically don't even need the drill. And even if I do decide to use the drill, I don't need a fully charged battery to put on cabinet doors or anything crazy. So anyway, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to kind of talk about the benefits of this while I'm trying to put all of my, I'm going to try and have you guys see that, all my junk away. In the beginning of the video, I kind of did a quick overview of it. And we'll see how far I get on this. This is going to be fun. All right, guys, I'm going to do my best on this part of the video. Unfortunately, I really didn't like the angle I was at. I wanted you guys kind of to see what I was doing while I talked about this, but my stand is not tall enough to get the angle I wanted this way, so I've got it on a kind of rickety setup, so hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. But anyway, while I'm kind of putting some of this stuff away, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why I really like the tool backpacks and, you know, just kind of why I use them. So I had used different tool bags kind of all my life. I had a toolbox for a long time that my dad gave me when I moved out, and once I got a little bit older, I bought some Harbor Freight tool bags, just easy stuff to keep me going, nothing crazy. I think I've shown you, I did a review on one of the tool bags really early when I started doing these YouTube videos. I'll link that in the description as well if you want to see some of the reviews on that. I really liked the Harbor Freight bags, but the problem was that they were kind of, I don't want to say cheap, but they were cheap. And eventually they started to kind of rip on me, especially if I added too much material, too much weight, obviously, to the actual bag. So I thought I had to go with a different direction. The other problem I had is I worked with a gentleman who was a little bit older, and I kind of felt bad for him. So whenever he asked me to carry his tool bag, I just did it, which, I mean, was fine, but the problem was that his tool bag weighed like, it was really good when it was a Husky, but it weighed like 40 pounds with all the tools in it, and I wish I could say I was exaggerating, but I really don't think I am when I say it weighed that much, because it, like, just, if I didn't have something in my other hand, I honestly couldn't carry it, because my body would be like so imbalanced that I could feel like I could barely move, really. So I noticed one day, I was like, well, I never want my tool bag to get like that. I never want to have so much stuff in one pack that I can't really carry it or move around, or if I had to go up a ladder with this thing, like what I would be holding it with one hand and then praying to God that I don't fall with the other. I don't know. So I always kind of thought that as I was working with my dad and working with this gentleman. And then finally, I don't know why I didn't have the idea sooner. I don't know if it was just like something I had never heard of, or since my dad never used them, I never thought of them. But I had heard of people using tool backpacks. And I kind of was, I don't know, not hesitant of the idea at first, but I kind of was just like, oh, like, how's a back? I guess I was thinking of like school backpacks, right? So I was like thinking of like a normal backpack that can barely carry my books, was, ripping during the school year, all that kind of fun stuff. And I thought, well, there's no way this thing can actually carry tools. Well, then I bought that first like $25, $30 one that I was telling you guys about, and it kind of like, even though that thing was also very cheap and did not last long, it kind of like changed the way I looked at tools, because all of a sudden I was able to work on stuff with my hands while still carrying all my tools on my back. And back then I had a pretty strong back, so I didn't really necessarily worry about like back pain and all that fun nonsense I have to think about now anymore. But then, like I kind of told you guys, after using that backpack for a while and kind of just accumulating tools, for lack of a better word, I just couldn't, that backpack ripped. I tried duct taping it, trying to fix it, trying to make it work again, and it just kind of never worked out for me again. It stopped working, and I thought, well, I need to get a new backpack. And I had looked up backpacks, but the problem was that I had this $25 one, and then like the next tier up, when it came to like tool backpacks, was like $50, $60. And at the time I was in college, I really didn't have any money. So I kind of just thought, well, I guess this is a wash for me. I'll just, do something else, maybe get a toolbox. Then I got pretty lucky. My mom surprised me for Christmas that year, and that, again, I think that was like 9 years ago or something. And she got me this tool backpack, the custom leather, the custom leathercraft backpack, and I loved it. It was great. This thing became a quick staple for me at work. Everyone knew when I was at a job because I had this backpack just sitting around the job site. All right, I'm pretty sure we're done with that side. I'm not going to zip this all the way up, but it'll help me kind of think and stay focused on getting all the other stuff in. Because unfortunately, you guys can probably tell, all the stuff that's left is the pretty big, heavy stuff. So I'm going to kind of move this thing over so I can kind of show you guys that and still keep talking, and hopefully it'll stay steady. I pray to God. But yeah, so after that, I started wearing the tool backpack on the job, and I don't know, just kind of worked out great. I was able to have other tool bags for my drills and different power tools, so I was able to still carry a lot more than other people too, because I had this on my back with all my tools in it, and then, my power tools in one hand and an extra tool bag in the other. Just didn't really have any issue. That's one of the things that goes on the other side that I forgot to take out. And it was just, I don't know, made it extremely easy to work with. But yeah, so I'm not saying you have to get a tool backpack, obviously, to do a good job on a construction site or whatever. I just really liked it because it basically freed my hands up. And this one in particular, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of other toolboxes out there and tool bags out there that probably have a lot more space, probably have a lot more compartments, or, since they roll, they're a lot easier to get around than this thing. But for the most part of me owning this, I have never had any problems lifting it up. I have had next to no issues carrying it. Like if I just want to, I could carry this like a tool bag since it's got the two handles. So if there's people out there like, well, if you can't carry it on your back, you're kind of screwed. Well, no, not really. You can still carry it like a normal tool bag. There's no one saying you can't, if that's your desire. But yeah, this thing just really spoke to me, and I thought, wow, why isn't everybody doing this? And I'll admit my dad thought so. Now he didn't buy one or anything, but he always said he would. But you know, just kind of a very interesting piece of equipment. I'm a big fan of if you can find the right job for right equipment for the job, it'll make your job easier. Or if you can find any way to make your job easier while still getting the job done, you should do it. So that's kind of how, I don't know, this thing came into being, I guess. And I will say this, this one was $80. I believe the one they replaced it with on their website is actually $75. I think it actually went down in price, and I'll be honest, I have no idea why that is, because I think this thing is just so amazing that I kind of expected it to go up in price with, I don't know just how convenient they are. I don't know, maybe this has been an old thing and they've been around forever, and I've just stumbled upon it 10 years ago and thought, oh wow, this is the best thing in the world. But either way, it's always worked out great for me. I mean, you can kind of see while I'm rambling on here, I've just been doing nothing but stuffing tools in this thing, and they all fit without zero problem. The next couple things I'm going to put in, the only reason I'm kind of, I don't want to say stalling, but kind of moving stuff around is because I kind of want to have a more, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I just basically have my drawers open because my power bench isn't exactly big enough. So I'm going to move this up here next. Sorry, had to shut those, almost dropped some stuff, got pretty embarrassing. So anyway, I don't know if I cut you off before I grunted to get that thing back onto the tool bench, but I swear it's not that heavy. It's pretty heavy, don't get me wrong, pretty substantial because I've got almost all the tools in there now, but it's very manageable, no different than any other tool bag or toolbox you've ever had. I'll do my best to kind of do a little pan of what this thing looks like with all the stuff in it. I obviously just don't want to worry you guys too much with me just, you know, kind of messing around with this stuff. But I'll, I don't know, get this done in a minute here. Actually, we'll just take a couple seconds to get the rest of the stuff back in. This is going to sound silly, but I always keep a charger on me. On a job site, just listening for like a Bluetooth speaker. Or it used to be my phone, but now my phone's that like USB-C charger or whatever. So don't need to really worry about that anymore. And yeah, I think that is basically it. All right. Oh, there's the charger. I put the charger in the front pocket. I know I said I don't really use it for much, and that's still true. I really do not use it for much. I just use it for my phone charger. I guess, yeah, let me go ahead and kind of show you this thing now that it's all the way filled up. I'm going to try and, it's not like I want to let it stand per se, but kind of show you what it looks like all the way undone. So you guys have a better view. So, I mean, that's all my stuff on this side. My big hand tools, socket stuff. I mean, you see I got a pair of bolt cutters there, hammer, my Sawzall container, or Sawzall blade case. And then over here, kind of more of my, I don't want to say delicate tools, but my smaller hand tools. I've got all my pliers over there, needle nose, electric, pencils, markers, flashlight, screwdrivers, utility knife. I got 2 boxes of drill bits. There's actually usually another box of screws and a Ryobi drill set in here. You guys saw me do a review on that. I'll show that at the end of the video as well. And then, yeah, sometimes I throw whatever else I need to at the end of that, but I'll zip this thing up real quick so you guys can see that it does, in fact, all fit in there. As soon as I can get this thing stable back on the little rickety stand I have for it. Oh, this is embarrassing. There we go. See, the problem with putting all the heavy tools in front is it does kind of want to lean forward a little bit, but that's it. The thing is all zipped up. It's ready to go. Like I said, I really don't keep anything on the outside. You just keep tape measure there. I've got my grinder wrench here, and I think that only, like I said, I mainly keep that there because I used to, because I just thought, wow, this thing's kind of jammed in there. It's not going anywhere, but also because my grinder's in a different tool bag. So I don't know, one day decided I'd have this always on me in case I didn't have my grinder on me and we needed a grinder wrench for somebody else. But otherwise, that's the whole backpack. Again, I will have a link in the description for the custom Leathercraft alternative that they have now, which does have these little side pockets over here that I think is very nice. It's basically, they just took this big pocket, and they still have all this, but they took this big pocket and basically put it on the front on both sides of here. They have that on their website for I think $75, and then I'll also put a link for another company who makes a backpack that's basically an exact clone of this one. So if you really, for some reason, really don't want those pockets here, or you want a different brand, I'll put the link for another product just like this from Amazon. It's I think around the same price, so you're really not saving any money. But I just figured I'd give you the option. But otherwise. But yeah, so I think this is a pretty good bag to have. It's a very modular system for whatever sort of need you have for it, whether you're just a DIY kind of person who wants to have all their tools in one bag, or maybe you're a guy that loads this up for specific jobs that you're going to need specific tools for. I think it can do any job. I really do.